Hey everyone. So it's me again, just doing a bit of an update. So I got some new doctors, which is good. Finally, maybe getting some answers. One thing is, and not sure if it's more of a side effect to having all those varices binded. And if you don't know, varices are bleeding veins in your esophagus that they have to go in and they have to wrap a band around it to close them up. And then eventually the band falls off and then you get scar tissue and stuff like that. So, but for the most part, I have a hard time swallowing any food. It gets stuck, and anyway, it's very uncomfortable. So also, if anyone is familiar with Xifaxan, which is one of the main medicines that they give you when you have liver failure, can't talk today. Uh, that particular pill is quite large, and that is very difficult to swallow as well. The new doctor that I'm seeing referred me to a new GI doctor, and I went and saw him, and he was. I'm kind of a technical person, so I like to know the insides and outs and what's going on and all the information, and he kind of broke everything down for me. Good news is the ultrasound that I had on my liver comes to find out that there is no cancer growing, so that's good, because that is a fear when you have cirrhosis, that it can turn into liver cancer. So I do have to get screened about every 6 months for that, just to make sure that nothing's going on there. So, but yes, the liver's still showing obviously signs of being cirrhotic. That doesn't go away. The symptoms, and some people have been making comments or asking questions about if it, that it can it heal itself, or the answer is no, but the side effects can subside for a while. It can work to the best of its abilities for, it's hard to say how long. Everybody's different. Could be 6 months, could be a week, could be 5 years. Somebody made a comment about they were diagnosed 10 years ago and they're still, going through it, and things are getting a little bit better. That necessarily isn't the normal situation, but it is possible. I mean, for sure. If you looked at me 6, 7, 8 months ago, I was orange like a pumpkin, and they gave me 90 days to live. So far, I have not checked out. I'm still here talking to you. But anyway, so I saw this new doctor, and he wants to explore why I have the liver failure. One of the other things that you tend to get when you have liver failure or cirrhosis is, the first thought that comes to mind is, oh, you drink your liver away. There's so many things that can lead to liver failure and cirrhosis. I drank for 2 or 3 years. I didn't drink for years and years and years before that. And if I think back at it, I actually had some symptoms fairly early on when I started drinking just some beers. For one, the edema in the legs swelling up. I happened to notice that just a couple months after even just, drinking a few beers here and there. But anyway, so he's looking in further and was asking me some questions and things like that. And he's actually checking me for Wilson's disease. And if you don't know what that is, Wilson's disease is a overload of copper in your system. Basically, the copper, you require these minerals and stuff to survive. Well, somebody who has Wilson's disease, your body holds on to that copper, and it eventually becomes poison. If caught early enough, and anybody who has it is born with it. But if caught early enough and signs seen, they can treat it and keep it under, control and everything with medicines and stuff like that. But if unknown about or left untreated, it can cause lots of different things. a lot of those symptoms like muscle pains, fatigue, uh, different things like that, but it can also affect the liver, and it can actually cause the liver to become cirrhotic as well. So they are testing me for that, and I go in Wednesday to test the muscles in my esophagus to find out if they're not contracting properly or working properly, uh, which is just another one of those fun situations that go right along, I guess, with this liver disease. And so we're going to check on that. So he's going to try to get to the bottom of that. I actually have a new liver doctor I'm going to go to be seeing. So one that's actually, it's a university, so there's some good hopes there, and that's in another week from now I'll be going to see that. So after all these appointments, I'll check back in and I'll give everyone kind of an update. So now again, this is my story and my situation. It's not the same for everybody. Everybody has a different situation. Their bodies act different. They react different to different medicines and things like that. And for anybody who is going through this, there are a couple things that I truly, truly believe in. I mean, the medicines are important, and sticking to your doctors. And the other thing about doctors, if you don't get the answer you're looking for, or it seems like they're just like hung up on one thing, and they're not getting to the root of the problem for you, and they're not answering your questions, don't be afraid to seek other advice, other doctors. And if you're worried about it, I mean, I think when I was first diagnosed, I went to the ER a lot for the first, few months, and because things weren't right, and they pretty much just pulled fluid out of me and sent me home with some medicine and said, "Have a nice day." And nobody gave me any information. Nobody told me what this is going to be like, what life will be like having this disease, what treatment could be, what could lead into. Nobody said anything. They just kind of like, and from what the comments are showing, it seems like that happens more than often. So please don't be afraid to ask questions to your doctors. And if they're not answering it, do some research. The Liver Institute of America is a good one as well. And you can seek other doctors, talk to your family physician, and ask them, your general physician, and ask them if, explain the situation, you're not getting the answers. Can they recommend a doctor? And a lot of times they'll find one that is pretty good in the field that you're having the issue in, and try to get you, set up with those doctors to get the answers you need. So, continue on that. So, well, that's what I did. And, but anyway, I got carried on. But what I was saying is a couple things that I truly believe in is, one, staying active as much as you can. Trying to stay positive, find things to stay positive, try to avoid stress. Like I said, obviously take all your medicine, but eating proper, like I don't eat out, I don't do McDonald's, I don't do fast food. Generally, I cook at home. Usually it's a higher protein food, and also eating like 6 or 7 small little meals throughout the day that are high in protein is helpful as well, because that gives you that energy that you need, because your body can't, if you have cirrhosis, your body doesn't regulate that protein. It winds up filtering out through and everything, so it doesn't do what it needs to do. But anyway, so that's my update. Thank you everybody so much for all the questions and the stories and everything, and don't be afraid to ask me anything. I will respond as quickly and as best as I can. But the main goal is to talk about this disease so people know about it, because I feel like it's becoming way more common nowadays than what it was, even 4 or 5 years ago. Liver transplants are on the rise right now. So with that said, Everybody have a wonderful day. I will check back probably in about 10 days, 2 weeks or so, with an update. I might do a video in between somewhere after the first appointment. So, but again, if anybody has any other questions and want me to do, try to answer anything for them and make videos on, don't be afraid to ask. I don't always get to them as much, and sometimes I read them and I forget. It's one of those wonderful side effects. So I will get to them the best I can. All right, everyone, you have a wonderful and blessed and amazing day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening, and take care.